So yes, this is a brand new book about eating of insects from a very special group of people from Copenhagen. Nordic Food Lab is their name. Actually, they started around 2002 as a group of cooks and researchers and globetrotters who were interested in the biodiversity of food and looking for a new food identity of food in Denmark, experimenting with herbs and mushrooms and all kind of stuff and algae from the sea and whatever. And like actually they met a man from Sao Paulo at a food event in a tent a little outside of Copenhagen in 2010, who presented them an ant, a small tiny ant in a translucent jelly bubble. And when they first tasted it, they just had their like a holy experience. Yes, that's it, insect, that would be interesting. And from then on, Nordic Food Lab experimented a lot with insect recipes, and they made a lot of travels around the world to see what other cultures make with insects, how they collect them, how they eat them, and so on. And then finally, one of the members, Robert Floregy, is an experimenting food artist. He created some really nice recipes that are photographed in a very cool Zen style that you can see here. Everything made also with insects, not completely made out of insects, like for example here, but it's made with insects, cooking with insects in a new high-class way here that could also meet the aesthetics of Western food lovers. Yes, and of course there's a small part at the beginning of the book about politics, about systematics, about terms, and then there's a big section about, let's say, adventures with insects, where they went into the fields and villages to see how people collect insects and what they do with them, mostly written by Josh Evans, all these kind of blogs in the style, a very adventure novel style, treasure searcher style. Some pictures here, not too many, but a lot of information about the interesting kind of insects you probably never heard of before, or also very interesting names like here, Rumpy, that's the honeypot, and it's interesting style. It's not a scientific book, but it's an easy to read, adventurous book. Just like if you would say, I want to go and look what the world is doing with insects, and then you go for a lot of experiments and expeditions in the whole world. Really nice book, beautifully made, bibliophile edition. And for me it was very interesting also one part of the book about Japanese special recipes with edible insects, especially about wasps. Why? Because 2 weeks ago I just harvested one of my wasp nests outside of my house. You can see it here in the edge of a window, and I cut it down and I tried to eat the larvae and the adults also. Let's see whether we can show it to you here. So this is a worker, and also this is a worker, I think. Probably this is a queen. So it's the small hornet, Dolichowespula media. It's very easy to catch wasps because they are not very aggressive. They make beautiful papery nests like this, and as you can see here, I just roasted the larvae and the adults also, and they tasted really exceptionally good. So this is a fantastic recipe for people who want to use their wasp nests that they find outdoors. You have to pay attention while harvesting them. I just killed them in the deep freezer, and then you can just separate very easily also the larvae from the papery combs of the brood. Yeah, so here in the book of on eating insects, Charlotte Payne was the guide of this expedition. They show some wooden boxes. People collect the small nests of the wasps and put them in kind of these wooden boxes like they do with honeybees, and then they just cultivate it like these wasps, and they harvested them in fall when the nests are at the optimum size, and then they use the wasps themselves, but also of course the larvae for making very nice dishes. Some of them are presented also here. This is with hornets, that they separated the larvae from the adults, and they taste really good. I also had one of these hornets in Vietnam once in the mountains. Really great. You have to try that. Instead of killing wasps with poison, that is not only poison for insects but also poison mostly for us, it would be better to harvest them and to eat them. Or if you love nature and are a vegan, just leave them there. Mostly they don't do you any harm. So it's a very nice book that can expand your horizons about the term of edible. So on eating insect Phaidon Press. It's also not very expensive, costs around $40. It's really beautifully made, interesting book with essays, stories and recipes about the eating of insects.